Hello, this is a tutorial for making a make one right and a make one left increases in double knitting. Make one right and left, these are the types of increases that slant either to the right or to the left, which is obviously where they get their name from. And they're fairly simple to do, there's just quite a few steps to get through, so let's crack straight on. In order to effect a make one right increase, which is a increase that slants to the right, the first thing we need to do is treat the two fabrics as if they're separate entities for once. So we're going to concentrate on the front fabric before we then concentrate on the fabric that's on the back. So a make one is a type of increase that is created by lifting up the running bar of thread that goes between the stitch you've just worked and the stitch you're just about to work. And you see that green thread that's between my two thumbnails there? That is the thread that we're going to do. I call that the running thread because it runs from one stitch to the other. And in order to do a make one right, we need to insert our left needle, which is this one here, underneath that running thread coming from the back to the front. So do you see how I've gone behind the thread there and out through the front, and I've pulled that up there, and I'm now going to knit into that through the front loop exactly as you would as if it were any other knit stitch. So it can be a little bit tight to get that in there because there's obviously not much slack to play with. So I go through like so, wrap, pull through and slip off, and that has created a new stitch, this one here, out of that running yarn that ran between the two stitches that we had worked and were about to work. That's the first maneuver. Now to do the other side of the fabric, we want an increase that slants this way. So on the other side of the fabric, it also needs to slant the same way so that they don't go at different angles, and that needs to be an increase that is made in the opposite direction. That's quite difficult to understand, but it'll be seen from the back, it'll be slanting the same direction as this one here. So on one side it'll look like it's going to the right, one side it'll look like it's going to the left, but that's because we've turned them over. With me? Clear as mud? Good. So in order to do that, we don't turn the work, but we just tilt it towards us so that we can see what's happening on the back. Now do you see here, there's the running yarn here, this white thread that goes between this stitch and this stitch. That's the one we're going to play with. It can be quite tricky to pick that up with the left needle, so what I tend to do is go in with the right needle, it's hard to get on camera, the right needle there, go underneath it, and then I've trapped it so I can then, do you see how I did that? So go under and pick it up, and then I can transfer it onto the left needle, like so. Did my needle get in the way there? I think it probably did. So that's the way it was on, and I'm going to go under from the front to the back. When we made the one on the front, we went from the back to the front, but this time we want to go under that stitch from the front to the back. That's really important, otherwise the increase will slant the wrong way. Now we want to bring both yarns forward because we're going to do a purl stitch, and we need to purl through the back loop of this one. So instead of coming through the normal way, which is to purl through the front loop, we need to swing ourselves round and go in towards ourselves through the back loop. If you've ever done purling through the back loop or any other type of purl decrease, then you'll be familiar with that. Wrap the yarn around the needle. I'm getting a little bit loose here because I've been trying to show you too much. And then pull through and slip off. Then I can take my yarns to the back of the work, and we can see I have here is the green stitch we made from the front running yarn, and here is the white stitch I've made from the back running yarn. So let me show you that again. I'm just going to work one pair of stitches beyond so that I have a nice clean piece of project to work on, and let's do that again. So to do the front one, we're going to go underneath this running stitch, here it is, between the two stitches on the right and left needles, from the back to the front, and go in, knit through, pull through and slip off, bring the yarns to the front, and then tilt the work towards us, identify that running thread, there it is, pick it up, slide the left needle underneath it from front to back this time, then go into it, purling through the back loop. You see how it comes towards you through that hole there. Wrap the stitch. Again, I've gone a little bit too loose because I'm trying to show you everything. I don't normally do this with my knitting. Wrap the stitch, pull back towards you, away from you I should say, and there we are. So now I've got stitches made where there were no stitches before, and if you can see, it's hard to get it on the camera, it kind of looks, this angle here is what's giving it the lean to the right. That's the make one right. Now we want to make one that slants in the other direction, and that's our make one left. Again, it's the same principle, it's using those running yarns that run between last stitch worked and next stitch to be worked, but this time we want to twist the stitches in the other way to make them lean in the opposite direction. So this time, instead of going from back to front under that running yarn, the way we did to make a right slanting increase, we're going to pick it up going from front to back. So it's just sort of curled over the needle in the opposite direction. And this time, instead of knitting it through the normal direction, which wouldn't twist the stitch at all, we're going to knit it through the back loop. So just get that a little bit closer to the lens to see if it will focus. Through the back loop and then knit. Pull through and slip off. Yarns to the front. Identify that white running stitch. There it is. Pick it up, and this time, instead of going from front to back, we go in from back to front. There we are. And we can now just purl through the front loop. No crazy shenanigans here, just go straight in the normal direction, purl through and slip off and bring the yarns to the back again. I'll show you that one more time. So this is to make a left leaning increase. We are going to pick up that running yarn, not from back to front, but from front to back, knit it through the back loop, swing the yarns to the front, tilt the work, identify the running yarn, pick it up there with the right needle, this time go into it from back to front, there we are, and then knit it through, purl it through the front loop, slip it off, and there we go. And this time you can see that the one we've made here, it very much has a definite lean towards the left. And there we are, make one left and make one right in double knitting.